You know, I think I've told you guys before that I grew up in a very, very conservative household. And I think one of the things that has been most disturbing as MAGA kind of took over the Republican Party is that there are just so many people that have just thrown their principles aside while Donald Trump is working towards some sort of autocracy right here in the United States. I mean, it's completely contrary to all the values that I was taught growing up in that conservative family. I mean, I came from the don't tread on me version of conservatism. And what do we have here? We have Donald Trump working towards a police state as he descends the National Guard onto LA under a false pretense of widespread violence. I mean, you couldn't have a more clear picture than what we are currently seeing with Donald Trump right now. It is uncanny, right? This is what dictatorship looks like. This is kind of how it progresses. This is how authoritarians, the playbook, this is how it's written, right? And so it's been, I guess, very disturbing to watch that progression of the Republican Party, and I guess expectable or expected that we now see Republicans just kind of kneeling over saying, yeah, Donald Trump should be able to do whatever he wants to do, guys. Don't worry about it. He's doing the right thing. He's a strong leader. And now we've got the National Guard being federalized in an illegal manner, deployed to the streets of LA because Daddy Trump said so. And I just want everybody to get a quick reminder of back in 2024, just about a year ago, we had people like Kristi Noem saying that federalizing the National Guard, well, that'd be a war, baby. If you guys do appreciate my work, please remember to subscribe.
And remember, Democrats have been encouraging this president. They've been encouraging President Biden to come after our states' rights. They've been talking about federalizing our National Guard, which would be the first time in American history that we would have a president that would pay soldiers to stand down, to actually not protect America. And if he's willing to do that and to take away my authority as governor, as commander-in-chief of those National Guard, boy, we do have a war on our hands.
Boy, we do have a war on our hands. If Biden wanted to federalize the National Guard and take away that authority from me, the governor of South Dakota, is that where she's from, right? And now we have Donald Trump federalizing the National Guard, taking the authority away from Gavin Newsom of California, and everything's honky-dory. You got Kristi Noem heading up DHS saying, yeah, bring it on, baby. This is the right thing to do. We need to squash the bugs in California. We need to get rid of all of these criminal immigrants that really don't exist. Instead, they're going in and, ripping families apart. They're targeting people who have been in the country for more than a decade. They're targeting people who are just trying to show up to work, to do their job, to contribute to their community. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And here's Donald Trump saying, yeah, baby, we're going to deploy the military everywhere, working towards that police state, just like I said.
Even if you don't plan to invoke the Insurrection Act, you plan to send troops to Los Angeles?
What?
Even if you're not planning to invoke the Insurrection Act, you still plan to send troops?
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart like it was under Biden and his auto pen.
What's the bar for sending Marines to...
The bar is what I think it is. I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order. It's about law and order.
Sending African Marines on the table, sir. Secretary Hegseth.
We're going to see what we need. We'll send whatever we need to make sure there's law and order.
I mean, could you get more authoritarian than that? Insurrection means exactly what I says it means. I'm going to have the military deployed everywhere because I need to keep Americans safe, even though there's not really a threat in the country right now that is legitimate. But whatever I say goes. If I say there's an insurrection, well, damn it, there's an insurrection, and therefore I need to deploy the military against the American people. Could you be more clear? And now you got Kristi Noem, head of DHS. She's going right along with it. She's cheering this stuff on. You got others in the Republican Party, like Senator Lankford. Even I thought somebody like Langford at least would put up some sort of opposition to this, but no, here's what he said instead.
Yeah, I think what President Trump's trying to do is pretty clear. He's trying to de-escalate all the tensions that are there. We're watching as Americans scenes of burning cars and intersections and people waving American flags at local law enforcement, concrete blocks being thrown at federal law enforcement. We watched this kind of scene 5-6 years ago when there was a takeover in the Northwest. Around Seattle and Portland, when we watched all that happen and local law enforcement was being challenged over and over again, it finally took a National Guard presence to be able to bring it down after weeks. What President Trump is trying to do is say, this is not going to take weeks this time. We're not going to allow this to be able to spiral out of control. This is an American city. And to be able to have an American city where we have people literally flying Mexican flags and saying, you cannot arrest us, cannot be allowed. If someone violates the law, no matter what state that they're in violation of a federal law, they should face consequences for that.
How could you even think that what is going on in LA right now, which is 99.9% peaceful protests, how are you trying to conflate that with what we saw in 2020 under Donald Trump the first time, when we had, huge protests nationwide, many devolved into violence and chaos? And you want to say that what is going on in LA right now meets that threshold? I mean, you've got to be kidding me. And Donald Trump, he didn't deploy the National Guard then like he is now. I mean, he leapfrogged right over Gavin Newsom, didn't care what he had to say, didn't care what the LA police had to say, didn't care what the mayor of Los Angeles had to say. No, it's Donald Trump's world, baby. It's Donald Trump's country. He is the king. Therefore, he gets to do whatever the hell he wants. And he's got fascist enablers like James Langford, who's just going to back this shit up, no questions asked. Oh, he's just trying to de-escalate. No big deal, guys. No, in fact, you have a president of the United States who is making things worse by deploying military on the streets of America. That is what is going on here. He's not de-escalating shit. He's pouring gas on the flames and he's watching it burn, using it as a power grab. This is right out of the authoritarian playbook. Like I will continue to say, the American people have got to wake up and see this for what it is. I mean, if you are supporting this nonsense, you are on the wrong side of history right now. When the history books are written about this moment, the MAGA movement looks closer to Hitler than it did the civil rights movement, I assure you. And you've got these fascist enablers twiddling their thumbs. Nothing to see here, guys. No big deal. Daddy Trump's in charge. Here's Mike Johnson. Nah, sending in the Marines isn't really heavy-handed.
Do you have any problem or any concerns about the president sending in the National Guard to a place where local authorities say that they're not needed and could be harmful?
I have no concern about that at all. I think the president did exactly what he needed to do. These are federal laws. We have to maintain the rule of law, and that is not what is happening. And Gavin Newsom has shown an inability or an unwillingness to do what is necessary there, so the president stepped in. That's real leadership, and he has the authority and the responsibility to do it.
Secretary Hegseth said that active duty Marines there at Camp Pendleton, there by San Diego, are on high alert and could be mobilized. Could we really see active duty Marines on the streets of Los Angeles?
You know, one of our core principles is maintaining peace through strength. We do that on foreign affairs and domestic affairs as well. I don't think that's heavy-handed. I think that's an important signal.
You don't think sending the Marines into the streets of an American city is heavy-handed?
We have to be prepared to do what is necessary, and I think the notice that might happen might have the deterrent effect.
Spoken like a true fascist. We need to do whatever we need to do. Sending the military, sending the active duty Marines onto the streets of California, no, that's not heavy-handed. We just got to do it because that's what needs to be done. We need to restore order that already exists in the city. I mean, these people are absolutely insane. They are enabling fascism. They are enabling the authoritarian takeover that Donald Trump is currently engaged in, and they just seem to have no care in the world at all. They are going along in lockstep with this wannabe authoritarian Donald Trump. To think that we're sending active duty military and the National Guard based on a faulty premise of widespread violence, and that's not heavy-handed. I don't know what would be then, right? These people are lunatics. Here's Markwayne Mullin. He's real mad that foreign flags were spotted on the streets of LA, guys.
I mean, think about this. They were literally out there protesting, carrying a foreign flag. That is absolutely insane. I mean, they're not just peaceful protesters. Well, these are illegals. These are exactly why the president is trying to secure our border.
All right. Well, carrying a flag is not illegal, as you know. And I just want to be clear.
Flag, I just want to be flag while you're attacking law enforcement. Well, it's pretty bad.
That's a different question. But
it's a foreign flag, guys. That's real bad. They're attacking the police and they're waving a foreign flag. I'm Markwayne Mullin. These people are idiots. Since when is it a problem to fly flags that are not the American flag at protests? I mean, did this guy watch January 6th? Did we see the Don't Tread on Me? Did we see the Confederate flags? Did we see the other white nationalist flags? Did Markwayne Mullin have anything to say about those people who actually carried out an insurrection or an attempted insurrection against the United States of America in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital? Did Markwayne Mullin have anything to say about those people and their foreign flags? And to think that this is a distinguishing marker of these protests is just insane. So what? You got an administration, the Trump administration, who is going around and rounding up all of the black and brown people that they can find, many of whom are from Mexico. So it might make sense when you've got peaceful protests who are protesting the ICE raids that are underway across our country. It might make sense that they fly the Mexican flag because they are standing up for the Mexican people who are being unduly targeted by a bigoted administration. I think it makes a little bit of sense to me. So spare me, Markwayne Mullin, and your dumb shit, your dumb complaints. And this is something that I've heard from other Republicans as well. They keep on throwing this talking point out like, oh, they're flying foreign flags, so it must be an insurrection. It must be a rebellion. Give me a fucking break. We are currently witnessing Donald Trump doing an authoritarian power grab. He is building up towards a dictatorial police state, and these fascist enabling fucks have nothing to say. Where's the Don't Tread on Me boys? This is an overzealous government who is trampling on the rights of everyday Americans. And these people have nothing to say. Give me a fucking break. Again, I just don't understand. I grew up with these conservative type people. I understand, or at least I thought I understood, the values that they hold or held, but it seems like they've just thrown them all away so they can, march in line right behind Donald Trump, the wannabe authoritarian fascist idiot who is trying this takeover of the United States, like a completely antithetical figure to what the United States is actually supposed to be. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. These people are unprincipled losers, and they should be mocked and ridiculed and shamed, and every single one of these assholes, they need to be voted out of office because they are currently enabling the authoritarian takeover that is currently underway in the United States of America. I'll leave it there for now. Let me just steal a couple seconds of your time, guys. This is an important announcement. We are currently under attack by a wannabe authoritarian who is currently snatching people off the streets. He's defying court orders. He's sending people to gulags down in El Salvador. And if you want to be on the right side of history, make sure to visit nokings.org and join in on the No Kings protest this Saturday, June 14th. Let's come together and show this administration that this is not what America is all about. I hope to see you guys there. If you guys got anything out of this video, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that adequately pushes back against the right-wing media ecosystem that just launders all of this fascist nonsense for Trump and his administration and these feckless Republicans day in and day out. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to smash that subscribe button. It is free. And if you guys want to see how Gavin Newsom took Donald Trump to task as a liar and a buffoon, as a wannabe authoritarian, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. It's good stuff there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.